for both nationals from Uganda and those from UAE. For UAE nationals, there's some bit of difference here that holders of diplomatic, special, ordinary, and service passports can enter Uganda visa-free for stays of up to 90 days. Diplomatic passports, you may be aware, are diplomats for the VIPs, president, ministers, and that group of people. We have service passports. These are passports, of course, held by officials other than the VVIPs, members of parliament, and other categories of Ugandans, including the heads of government departments. Then we have special passports. These are, for us in Uganda now, we did away with these, but other countries like UAE have special passports. What are they? These are passports that are given to individuals with a special purpose or function or mission for the government. For instance, if in Uganda we had somebody we are interested in to go and do for us a certain mission outside here, maybe sports or otherwise, then that category of passport known as special is issued to that kind of person, and it normally lasts for 1 year. For Ugandan nationals, of course, traveling to the UAE, only holders of diplomatic and service passports qualify for visa-free entry into the UAE for up to 90 days within any 180-day period. However, ordinary Ugandan passport holders are not included and must, of course, follow standard UAE visa procedures. The third one, I would like to thank Uganda Police Force for the operation they carried out in Rodai cell in Soroti, eastern part of the country, where we were able to arrest a lady whose names have been kept secret until investigations are completed. This lady has been in the habit of forging Ugandan passports. Not only passports, like my colleague Rusoke talked about, they have also been in the habit of forging other documents such as Interpol letters, yellow fever, and stuff like that. This lady has been doing that because she has, I think, one shrewd one who came to the ministry headquarters. One time I remember talking about it, where somebody came very early in the morning and found Ugandans lining up. Of course, they come early before we arrive at the ministry. Ugandans line up, and somebody came very shrewd and just paraded all these people. There were about 500 applicants who were lining up to Rufula. He made them follow him up to Rufula, and he charged them 10,000 from each, purportedly to take pictures for passport applications. Something we have never asked for. And those people were conned just from here in Kampala. So I want to ask my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, my fathers, my uncles, to be very careful. There are those smart people in Kampala and elsewhere. Just see now, this one is in Orodai, deep down in Soroti. People are looking for money, and there's no way we can preside over this. There's no way we can prevent this, because we are not everywhere. But it is out of your own civic right and civic responsibility, like Afande said, to also think twice, do some due diligence. To also think twice. This person asking to process a passport for me, is he right? Does he work in the Ministry of Internal Affairs? Even if he works in the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the passport is only handled and processed from designated passport offices. And we have about 5 in Uganda. We have ministry headquarters, Old Port Road. We have Mbarara Passport Office. We have Mbale Passport Office. We don't have one in Soroti. We have one in Gulu. We have one in Jinja, and one in Arua. We do not have any passport office whatsoever in Orodai cell in Soroti, where this sharp lady fleeced these Ugandans. So I call upon Ugandans who are seeking for passport services to do so using only our one website, www.passports.go.ug, and it is easy to use and navigate through. And applications can be made even on smartphones. You don't have to have a computer. Even a smartphone can actually help you to apply for a passport wherever you are and be able to pay for a passport in your sitting room, in your bedroom, even when you are in a taxi traveling using mobile money services. So you don't have to be in an office in order to apply for a passport. And the ministry would like to emphasize that we do not work with any brokers or agents for any of its services. The ministry does not use any broker. We don't have any agency anywhere, and all of passport, all of visa applications, all of these immigration-related services are only handled at the ministry and the designated offices. Outside Uganda, we have passport offices in Beijing, China. We have Copenhagen, Denmark. We have Ottawa in Canada. We have Pretoria, South Africa. We also opened one in Turkey. The capital of Turkey is Istanbul. We have one there. Then we have one in where in London. So these are the only designated passport offices where one is supposed to go and seek for passport services. I want also to add that there are a group of Ugandans who are in countries where we don't have embassies or even have passport services. These countries like Argentina, like Brazil. So, in case you find yourself in Brazil and you have no passport, or the passport has gotten lost or expired and you'd like to get a passport, the advice is just one. What you do, you report to the passport office of that country. For instance, if one is living in Brazil and happens to lose a passport and would like to replace one or would like to travel, what you do, if you want to travel for emergency purposes and you want a document to travel, what you have got to do is visit the passport office of that country, Brazil, in this case. And Brazil, because of the agreements we have through ICAO, will issue a document. And this document will enable you to return home. And it is a one-way document, which only allows you to travel back home. The 261 passports that were nabbed by Uganda police, we are going to investigate, of course. We have not yet looked at them, but we are going to subject them to forensic checks to see if they are genuine passports or fake. My suspicion is that some of these could be forged, because these days it is almost impossible for you to forge a Ugandan passport. These digital passports are very, very, very difficult to forge. These passports have a chip which is embedded in them. And the information you see on the biodata page is not the only information that is contained in the passport. So most of these people will only forge what they are seeing on the biodata page: the name, the date of birth, the place of birth, and things like that. But there's a lot of information that is hidden in the chip, which cannot be accessed by these fraudsters. The only machine that can read the chip is domiciled at airports, because it is too expensive that even these fraudsters cannot afford to acquire it. So the information on the biodata page is just part of a lot of information that we have in the passport. So they will only forge what they are seeing, but there's a lot. We have names of your parents, they are hidden in the chip. We have people's professions, they are hidden in the chip. And you can't be able to forge what you are not seeing. So definitely, you'll be wasting a lot of your precious time to go to Orodai and search for passport services. Definitely, we shall nab you. So we are going to subject these passports. We are going to work with police. So we are going to subject these passports. Of course, my suspicion is they may not be genuine. And in case there are some which are genuine, there are some Ugandans who have been duped and asked to bring passports. Those who are desperate, actually, to travel outside for Cheyo. So they have been duped by some of these people, and these people collect passports from the community. And when they collect these passports, some of them have been dealing with cartels in Dubai and selling these passports to those cartels, not for travel purposes, but for purposes of trafficking drugs. I told you one time here that most of our people out there, internationally, especially in China, and those other European countries, they cannot differentiate between the two black people, apart from a man and a woman. If there are two men, me and him, presenting, if I presented his passport, just by the merely looking at it, they cannot differentiate. So it is only the biometric machine that can differentiate. So what they do, they use those documents to traffic drugs, not for travel. Because for travel, it is almost next to impossible to travel on those passports. It cannot be possible to travel on somebody's passport. So what they use them to just as an identity for selling their drugs. Just as we cannot differentiate between especially Chinese, I don't think we can differentiate between the two. If they present a document, it is very difficult for you to be able to differentiate the two. So they equally the same. They cannot differentiate as black people. If two men, they can only differentiate between a man and a woman.
Can only differentiate
So
between a man
I want to call upon my brothers and sisters and those who are in the habit of one selling their passports for purposes of drug trafficking, that you are putting yourself in danger. You will be arrested without knowing the crime. We had about 80 cases of drug trafficking that was in China. And they were mentioning that Ugandans have been arrested involved in drug trafficking. When we made our way there to identify these people, some time back, we found them, of course, using Ugandan names. And we tried to use our own method of identifying them by speaking the local languages, especially Luganda, which is mostly spoken, because they had Chiganda names, and when we tried to speak to them in Uganda, out of the 80, only 2 could respond. The 78 were clearly non-Ugandans, but using Ugandan passport. You can see the danger such people put our country in. And those countries think these people are Ugandans, but in actual sense, they are not Ugandans, but just using Ugandan passport. Because we asked them, and we only identified 2 Ugandans in that whole lot of drug traffickers. So I want to ask Ugandans to consciously and jealously guard their booklets, this passport. It is something that identifies you. It is something that can throw you. Something that identifies you. It is something that can throw you in danger. Lastly, I would like to say something about travel advisory of individuals intending to travel to Uganda. We had, starting 18th February 2026, we issued some guidelines targeting people who come to Uganda to visit. There are people who come here to visit for business, for tourism, for studies. Others come for benchmarking in certain. If a country requires a visa, you have got to provide a cover letter or invitation letter explaining the purpose of the visit. Why are you coming to Uganda? Then 2, the travel document, which is the passport, which must be 6 months of validity, at least. It must be of 6 months validity. Same applies to us Ugandans. Those of you who are applying for visas to go outside Uganda, you must ensure that your passport is at least having 6 months validity, at least. Short of that, it is an internationally accepted requirement that they cannot process a visa. Requirement that they cannot process a visa. In a passport that is less, you go back, and then you can use that visa to keep coming and going back for a certain period, maybe for 1 year, for 6 months, like that. Then single entry means if you come to Uganda that first time and you get, the moment you depart Entebbe, that visa is expired. That's what we mean by single entry visas. Then of course we have that visa costs Uganda, US dollar, $50. And we have multiple entry visa where you keep coming in, going without applying for visa. You use that very visa, but coming in and going out multiple times. And this one is issued between 6 to 12 months, and it costs only $100 US. Then we have East African Tourist Visa. This one is a 3-month multiple entry within Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. This visa is issued by Uganda, and when you come to Uganda, you can use the same visa to go to Rwanda, the same visa to go to Kenya, without having to be asked for another visa for that period. East African Tourist Visa. For these people who come here for tourism, you can use it to go to Rwanda, go to Kenya. At least we have that tripartite agreement within the 3 member states. And in the same vein, I wish to tell Ugandans that national ID has been gazetted and recognized as a travel document to at least 2 countries from here. For you Ugandans, you can use national ID to go to Rwanda without being asked for a passport. You can use national ID to go to Kenya without being asked for a passport. Simply carry your national ID, go to the airport. Some people originally thought that national ID cannot allow one to fly. No. That's not the issue. You can actually use national ID and fly to Nairobi, fly to Kigali, using just national ID. So national ID, on top of several other transactions, can also act as a travel document. We have another travel document for those who don't have national ID, but you are Ugandans, especially for countries that share with us land borders, which are these: Rwanda, we have DRC, Congo, we have South Sudan, we have Kenya, we have which other one? Those countries where we share the border. Those countries, you can be given a document when you are at the border, and that document costs only 10,000 shillings. It lasts 1 month. That document enables you to travel to Kenya, come back, and you can use it in a period of 1 month. It costs only 10,000 Uganda shillings. And then we have another document known as, because we have continued to make travel very easy, there's a document called Certificate of Identity. Certificate of Identity is a document that can enable you to travel to countries even where we don't share a land border. You can go to Zimbabwe, you can go to Zambia. It normally operates within East African countries and COMESA member countries, PTA and COMESA member countries. That document can actually take you there, and it costs only 40,000 Uganda shillings on top of passports. So do not have issues, do not go to the fraudsters because you want to travel to Kenya quickly and you don't have time to process a passport. Just go to the border. If you have an ID and you're going to, the ID only applies to Kigali, to Rwanda and Kenya. Now, if you are going outside Kenya and Rwanda, say going to Tanzania, then you can use that document of 1 month of 10,000. You can be able to use that. It is called TMP. Temporary Movement Permit, TMP. It costs 10,000. You can go to the border, identify yourself that you are Ugandan, and they will sell it to you at 10,000, and you'll be able to cross to Tanzania or any place you want to go to without having to worry about. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I don't want our people to go to fraudsters in times of emergency. Somebody wants to travel and has no passport, and it takes maybe 5 working days to process a passport, or more depending on the conditions, and then you will be forced to go to the fraudster. Don't do that. Go to any office of immigration, wherever it may be, and they will always have a solution for you, Ugandan, especially Ugandan. Just ensure that you're Ugandan, and we shall be able to give you the service. Now, there are countries where you don't need visa to go to. There are visa-exempt countries. I think I gave some media houses this list. I can still share the list again because it is long. I can't read it here. But quickly, there's Bahamas, there's Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Botswana, Burundi, Comoros, Cyprus, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eritrea, Fiji, Gambia, Ghana, Grenada, Special Administrative Territory of China, Hong Kong, Ireland, Jamaica, Kenya, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Malaysia, Malta, Mauritius, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Solomon Islands, South Sudan, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Swaziland. This Swaziland these days is called the Swatini. I think that's the new name, Swaziland. It's called the Swatini. Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, United Arab. It's called the Swatini. Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, United Arab. Emirates, diplomatic and service passport. United Arab Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Those are some of the countries where you don't need a visa to go to. For instance, of course, nationals from visa-exempt countries who hold also conventional travel documents issued to them by any country are equally visa exempt. What do we mean by conventional travel documents? CTD. These are passports that are held by refugees. In Uganda, we have refugees and totaling almost 2 million. And when they come here, they surrender their passports at the office of Prime Minister, and then they are given a card. They use that card to apply for a passport, and that passport is known as conventional travel document. It is a 32-page document costing 220,000, and this kind of passport takes them to anywhere apart from the country of origin. What do I mean? If you are a refugee from Congo, for instance, and you come to Uganda and we give you a CTD, you are not supposed to go to Congo. You can go elsewhere apart from Congo. Why? Because you did tell us that you are being persecuted in Congo. So why should you go there? So we protect you elsewhere. You don't have the moment you drop in Congo, that nullifies that document. The day you drop there means the document is null and void. So those are the CTD, and it is the Ministry of Internal Affairs that issues those documents. And of course, for Ugandans who hold diplomatic and official passport, these days we changed the name from official to service passports. The green ones. The holders of this can go to these countries without visa. But also, additionally, even if you are holding a service or diplomatic passport, you are required to travel with the following. Of course, diplomatic note. In some circles, it is called not verbal. In some circles, in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you are supposed to get permission, diplomatic note to allow you travel to another country. Then travel document, of course, the passport, which must be 6 months valid. And then return air ticket, which you must have booked, and then confirmed hotel booking for those who do not have hosts. Just because Malaysia does not ask visa from us, does not make you wake up one morning and then rush to the airport and want to go to Kuala Lumpur without booking hotel. They will ask you for hotel booking, they will ask you for passport, which must be 6 months valid, you know. But I have seen Ugandans who have just gone to the airport, just because I mentioned one time here that Cyprus, you don't need the visa to go to Cyprus. And they wake up one morning, they are going for tourism in Cyprus, and they are stuck at the airport. See, why? Because they have not booked a hotel, they didn't have 6 months valid passports, and the ticket was one way. You must have a return ticket, something that will take you and back. We still have talks for ordinary passport holders of Uganda. These talks are almost coming to an end, and very soon Ugandans who hold ordinary passports will move visa-free to the Republic of South Africa. Very soon. We started with diplomatic, we came to service passport, and now the talks are almost coming to a successful end. We shall have Ugandans going to South Africa visa-free. Of course, this is enabled by the fact that our passport now is gaining some level of strength. There are some documents which act as passport. I need, because you are media people and you need to inform people. There are some organizations which are international in nature, which issue some travel documents known as laissez-passer, issued by international organizations which are recognized by Uganda, or to which Uganda is a member, and they are listed here. Let me just quickly scan through. United Nations organizations. They have a special document, a passport, and it is recognized here, visa-free. We have African Union. African Union has a special type of passport for its staff. African Development Bank, COMESA, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank. World Bank has their own type of passports, and even IMF. Then we have Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD. IGAD also has a certain type of passport which is allowed here, visa-free. Then we have Environment Liaison Center, International. Then we have African Airlines Travel Association, known as IATA. They also have their passport. Then we have International Labour Organization. They have their type of passport, visa-free. Then we have preferential trade area, sometimes called Common Market of East and South African countries, known as COMESA. They also have their own passport. Then we have International Potato Center, CIP. We have African Reinsurance Corporation, ARC. We have African Reinsurance Corporation. We have African Housing Fund. Serving members of the British military are exempted from visa formalities. And of course, you also know that the only person who moves without a passport in the whole world and is allowed is the King of Britain. For him, he can wake up and go anywhere without visa. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Gereko hano mu Luganda katono posi mbaletera obubaka kuva Ministry y'ensonga z'omunda nga bulijjo tubaagala nnyo tubasiima nnyo emirimu gye mukola mugezaako nnyo okulabula abantu ebintu bya passport naye lwakuba abantu baffe nabo oluusi beesuulirayo bw'anaagamba abantu ne bakola ki ne bibafera ngenda kutandika na kino ekya n'okuyamba Abannayuganda ababadde abaferebwa erudde eyo. Njagala mu buufu bwe bumu njagala okukubiriza Abannayuganda abaagala passport nti bambi tetukolerangako passport yonna olwadayi ekifo bakiyita olwadayi n'olaba omunnayuganda ayagala passport n'agenda olwadayi okufuna passport biri twebereremu nga Abannayuganda passport nze njogera wano passport offices buli lwembeera wano nga nzogerako sijjukiranga olunaku n'olumu okwogera ku olwadayi passport zenda sijjukirako kubanga passport ekolebwa Ministry ya Internal Affairs yokka teri ministry endala yonna teri authority yonna ekola passport okujjako immigration eri wano ku Ministry ya Internal Affairs ensonga z'omunda era ministry eno mukimanyi bulungi nti eri wano ku Old Port Bell Road. Of course Abannayuganda abamu luli twafuna okubuzaabuzibwamu nti bajja ku Internal Affairs nga bakozesa gate eno eya Jinja Road. Eyo gate twagiyigala ndowooza emyaka kati giwezeba mu 7. Lwaki twagala gate eyo? Lwakuba abantu baffe baali bafunirawo nnyo obubenje kubanga wali bize nnyo kati tugulawo gate eri side ya Old Port Bell Road. Kati bw'oba ku Ministry ya Internal Affairs bambi tukozesa wano Jinja Road n'osanga kubanga waliwo omuntu eyankubidde esimu n'agamba naye gate eyo tusanga buli lunaku nzigale ng'ategeeze neya eri ku Jinja Road. Tetugulawo gate eyo kubanga yaliwo nga tufunirawo obubenje bungi olumu bakonerawo abantu bana olunaku lumu awo wenyini awo kwe kusalawo nti tugalewo gate eyo kati twada ku side ya Old Port Bell Road olutali bize nnyo. So kati bw'oba oze ku ministry oyise eno ku Jinja Road n'osanga ng'enzigale weetooloole bwoti ekikomera ekyo ojja kulaba gate eri wansi ng'ogenda ku side ey'erufula ojja kulaba gate nga zigule. Teri muntu yenna kugaana kuyingira mu Ministry ya Internal Affairs. Ministry ya Internal Affairs y'Abannayuganda n'abantu bonna abaagala services. So n'olwekyo teri muntu akutiisa kuyingira naye bw'olaba poliisi abali awo bonna bakuumi b'eddembe baliwo okulaba nti tewali buzibu bwonna security nti ebeera gulugulu. Poliisi bantu bammwe poliisi ebe kuyamba gwe. So tolaba poliisi ku gate ate n'odduka nti waliwo poliisi okujjako ng'oli mumenyi w'amateeka. So jangu Ministry of Internal Affairs bw'oba weetaaze ku processinga passport era ennaku zino twabyanguyamu nti passport ogikolera ku mutimbagano. Genda ku website link yaffe eri open www.passports.go.ug. Simanyi okukyogera mu Luganda kino www ekyoki ndowooza katukirekeraawo passports.go oba .go katonyeza ndowooza lwaki neemenya katukirekeraawo ekyo bwekityo. Kakati bw'ogenda awo nyangu nnyo katukubiriza Abannayuganda nti abali mu East mugende Mbale waliwo passport office, abali mu North mugende Gulu tulinayo passport office, abali mu West Nile tulina Arua, abali wane waffe Jinja wano kumpi tulinawo office wane Jinja ekola ku bintu bya passport bulungi nnyo, waliwo Embarara. Kakati abali ebweru we Uganda tulinawo London, tulinawo Washington, tulinawo Ottawa e Canada, tulinawo Copenhagen e Denmark, tulinawo e Turkey, tulinawo Pretoria South Africa, tulinawo Beijing e China. Zino zonna zikola ku Bannayuganda. Era n'enyongerezaako nti waliwo Abannayuganda ababeera mu mawanga nga kati juzi bano abagenda e Cambodia ne bafunirayo obuzibu, tetulinayo embassy e Cambodia. Era embassy yaffe ekola e Cambodia yene ye Malaysia. So kyokola wobeera mu ggwanga naye nga tetulinamu ekitebe, tetulinamu embassy, tetulinamu passport office. Kyokola oba akatabuko kakuweddeko oba kabuze ate ng'oyagala kutambula mu bwangu emergency case, kyokola genda ku passport office ey'eggwanga eryo. Owedde njogerawo n'amawanga we tutalina embassy nga Brazil nga Argentina tetulinayo embassy. So kyokola gendayo mu office yaabwe, mu office yaabo abakola passport z'eggwanga eryo. Waliwo of course entegeraganya gye tulina nga tuyitira mu kitongole ekifuga ebya passport kye tuyita ICAO, ng'ekkiriza eggwanga eddala okuwa omutuuze atali waabwe akapapula akamutambuza paka wano ewaffe. Of course naffe wano waliwo abagwira ababeera wano ne bafunirawo obuzibu oluusi ne babuza passport zaabwe. So tubawa ate nga tebalina ebitebe wano, bajja ne tubawa ebipapula ebyo ne bibatwala ewaabwe. So teri situation yonna eforcing omunnayuganda okugenda mu baffere. Era neŋŋamba nti eno national ID kati bagigazetinga nga travel document gy'otambulirako. Kati osobola okukozesa endagamuntu n'ogenda e Rwanda ng'oyise ne ku kisaawe Entebbe, si nti ng'oyise ku border point nedda ssebo n'ennyabo. Eno ID ekuyamba n'oyita e Malaba n'ogenda e Kenya. Oyinza okuyita ku airport n'oflyinga n'ogenda e Kenya. Naye kyokka nina okwongerako nti ID ekola mu mawanga asatu gokka. Of course twafuna entegeragana eyo ekola wakati wa Uganda, Rwanda ne Kenya. Kakati ne bw'oba ogenda Tanzania wotosobola okukozesa national ID. Tulinawo obudocument obulala bwe tukozesa. Obudocument buno waliwo amawanga ge tugabana borders, tuziyita land borders, nga Tanzania wogitwalidde, South Sudan, nga DR Congo, nga Burundi. Gano amawanga waliwo akapapula ke bakuwa bakayita temporary movement permit. Okasanga eyo ku border mu office zaffe era bakatunda mutwalo gumu weguti gwoka ne bakuyamba n'okola ki n'otambula n'ogenda. So njogedde bino byonna ngengezaako okulaba nti abantu baffe tebafuna obuzibu okukola ki okugenda ne bagwera mu bafferefere bano abo banoonya ssente. Ate abafere bo bangi. Ate njagala kwongerako nti ffe nga immigration oba government tetulina control ku bantu bano, kubanga oba tomanyi bwe bali. Wero bwe tumanya nti bali wano nga kati bwe twategedde Soroti twagenze ne tukola ekikwekweto ne tukwata bano. Naye abangi nnyo abakolera wano mu kibuga tetumanyi bwe bali. So n'olwekyo tetusobola kuba prevailinga over kubanga tetumanyi bwe bali. Naye gwe ng'omunnayuganda bambi weebeereremu ng'omunnayuganda. Nsuubira nti omunnayuganda yenna ayagala kugenda ebweru abeeramuko n'okutegeera nti passport bagijja mu ofiisi za internal affairs wonna we ziri, nti tebagijja omuntu tajja n'akulimbalimba n'omuwa ssente. Nakitegeeteko nti bano bakutte bano waliwo abannayuganda abatunda passport zaabwe wiringire nga bazitunda mwabo abaffere abakolagana ne groups z'abantu babeereyo e Dubai. Passport nga baali bazitunda million 10 eza Uganda buli passport. Kakati passport okuzitunda sinti bagenda kuzitambulirako. Tekikyasoboka okukola ki okutambulira ku passport etaliyo naddala eyaffe wano gye tukola. Kati kye bakola passport eno bazeeyambisa mu kutambuza ebiragalalagala. Nga bwe mukimanyi mawanga nga China n'amalala geeyo tebasobola okwawula abantu abaddugavu babiri okutwawula nga tebakozeseza ekyuma. Katugeze nze noono muganda wange tebasobola kutwawula. So passport bazikozesa mu bintu ng'ebyo ebyokutambuza ebiragalalagala si byakutambulirako. Ate njagala kumaliza ng'eŋŋamba nti passport ye Uganda kati kizibu nnyo okukifojinga. Tosobola okujingajinga passport ye Uganda kubanga mulimu akachip akuuma ke twateekamu ate akuuma ako kaliko information nyingi nnyo gy'otolaba n'amaaso go ne bw'oteekako galubindizo. tosobola kulaba information eno naye kyokka bw'olaba ku biodata page ogenda kulaba nga kuliko basic information eno eraga manya wazaliwa ddi ozaliwa bwa naye ebintu bingi byekwese mu kakiiko ako ke twakweka munda mwa passport era ebyuma ebiraba akakiiko ako bya mulembe nnyo ate biri bya buseere nnyo si kiwandi waliwo omuntu yena omufere ayinza okugyayo sente ezo okugula ekyuma ekyo so byuma bino biri ku ma airport sigokka bw'otambula ku airport nga bakiraba nga bateeka mu kyuma nga eraba information eyo nga oteekako ebinkumu ng'otambula so n'olwekyo njagala okukubiriza bannayuganda bambi twebeereremu muleme okufuuka ekisekererwa nga bamaze okubaba ssente waliwo kano kembadde njogeddeko mu luzungu nti gye buvuddeko twateekawo kyetuyita ebikwatagana n'entambula nga bikwata ku especially abagwira abajja wano ewaffe ne tugamba nti bw'oba oyagala oba olina muntu wo oba muganda wo nga yagenda naye kati yafuuka mu America oba omuntu yenna yawaayo citizenship ye ye Uganda ayagala kujja alina okuba nti atuwandiikira ebbaluwa naye okusookera ddala alina okusaba visa nga gisabira ku mukutu n'ateekako ebbaluwa ye n'ateekako passport naye passport erina okuba nga tesuuka teri wansi wa myezi 6 validity then of course n'akafaananyi n'etiketi ye ate tiketi eno erina okuba nga emuuzaayo emuleeta n'emuuzaayo era passport visa eno ejja kututwalira ssaawa 48 zokka ne tukola ki nga tujja approvinga era ne bategeeza nti tulina ne list wano omunnayuganda wasobola okugenda nga teyeetaaze visa countries nga Antigua, Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Botswana, Burundi, Comoros, Cyprus, DR Congo, Eritrea, zino zonna twetaaga visa okukyali amawanga gano g'ensoma Fiji, Gambia, Ghana, Grenada, Hong Kong, Ireland, Jamaica, Kenya, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Malaysia, Malta, Mauritius, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Solomon Island, Southern Sudan, St. Vincent, Swaziland, ennaku zino bagiyita Eswatini, Swaziland. Tewetaaga visa ogendayo. Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, United Arab Emirates bw'oba olina passport ya kiragala ne ya red zokka. Tanzania wano, Zambia ne Zimbabwe. Era nabagambako nti tulina enjogeraganya ekyagenda mu maaso wakati wa Uganda government ne government ya South Africa nga bikwata kujjawo visa. Twasookera ku visa zino z'abaana okujjawo visa zino z'abaana abalina passport za diplomatic ne service passport. Kakati ekiddako passport zino eziri ordinary zino ezaffe za bululu. Bonna abalina passport zino ekiseera kyonna Katonda bw'aba ayagadde tugenda kuba nga nzija wano mbategeeza nti visa evuddewo wakati wa Uganda ne South Africa. Era kino kyonna kiraga amaanyi ga passport ya Uganda kati getuuseeko. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale. Some questions, yes? Okay.
Then someone reacted online, complaining about Congo selling different passport at $10.
Dollar or passport or visa?
Passport.
Passport.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Ani ndoza byebyo? Okay. Ndaba tukoye. Okusokera ddala kantu andikena kino ekisembyeyo. Ba generals okuyitibwa okuddayo ku UPDF. Kino kya bulijjo emirimu gino egyaffe gye tukola. Kya bulijjo bano ba generals bamaze emyaka gigenda kwera mu 8. Tekibanga nawo. Tekibanga nawo. Routine. Nange ndi wano leero week ejja yinza obutaba ngaza akomawo wano. Akaseera konna batukyusa batujjawo. Era kya bulijjo. Sinti waliwo reason ndi lwakuba kino kyabadde tewali nsonga yonna emirimu tukola nova wano nota naye kujja wano mu internal affairs waliwo gye bava waliwo gye bava okujja wano mu internal affairs. So of course ne mu internal affairs balina okuva mu internal affairs bagenda awalala basavingeko awalala. So ekintu kiri routine tekikwata ku nsonga yonna eri awo nti oba bagaana ono oba oli passport nedda sebo. Ekintu ekyo ekya passport bakyaddressinga dda era kati tetulinako buzibu bwonna mu ministry obukwatagana n'omuntu yenna complaininga ku bintu bya passport. Ekitwa waliwo guidance president gyawa era gye tugoberera. So obuzibu obwo president yabufunira dda eddagala tewali buzibu bwonna obukwatagana ne passport muntu yenna ayetaaze passport ewaffe. Kyokubiri, what is the fate of ordinary passport holder? Nga bulijjo bano abalina passport eza bulijjo ezaffe eza bululu bajja kweyongera nga basaba visa okukola ki okugenda mu mawanga nga Dubai, I mean UAE. Of course abasinga obungi bagenda Dubai ne Abu Dhabi. Bajja kusigala nga basaba visa bateeka mu visa naye tekitegeeza nti ffe tetubaliko. Tukyayogera ne government zino okulaba nti n'oyo alina passport eri ordinary asituka wano n'agenda e Dubai nga teyeetaaze ki visa. Tetukikomeze naye twatandise ne bano waliwo we tutandikira twatandise ne diplomatic ne tudda ku service kati obudde bwonna tudda ku ki tudda ku ordinary. So abantu bano abaffe ababulijjo bakumiikirize obudde bwonna oba oli awo nja kujja wano ntuuse n'amawulire amalungi nti ne visa yabo abalina passport ya ordinary evuddewo. Waliwo we nali wano ne njogera ku bintu kya passport okujjula mu sitowa zaffe luli twalina emitwalo 6. Njagala kwebaza mwe abanamawulire mwatwala obubaka ne mu informing of course abantu ne mubategeeza era abasinga obungi bajja ne banona passport zaabwe zino. Kati wenjogera tunawo emitwalo nga2 naye twagenda okulaba emitwalo gino 2 abantu bananyini passport zino tebafuna kutegeezebwa nti passport zafuluma. Lwaki? Companies zitwala abaana bano ebweru bwe baali bateekamu okusaba kwa passport beeteeramu manager omu n'asabira abaana nga 5 n'ateekako telephone number ye yokka n'atateekamu telephone number y'abano abaana. So passport bwe zaafuluma ono message zonna zagenda wa manager era manager omu usanga oluusi ng'afunye message nga 15 tasobola kuzisoma zonna tamanyi passport yani efulumye yani etafulumye ze ziriyo. Era twagezaako okukuba simu eziri ku system naye twakubako simu nga 15 zonna nga zigenda mu bantu be bamu. So awo ne tukita kati abaana bano bateekamu okusaba naye kati bali eyo mu byalo kyokka passport zafuluma tebamanyi. So okujjako kati njagala okubakubirizaamu abanamawulire mutuyambeko. Omuntu yenna yateekamu okusaba passport n'asasula n'ajja ku internal affairs ne tumuggyako ebigalo ebinkumu naye nga tafunanga passport eyo mubategeeze batukebereko bajje batukebereko wano mu office bajje bwe batuuka ku geeti bagambe nti baze kukebera ku passport zaabwe naye bajja Kyambogo temujja eno ku headquarters eno ku Old Port Bell Road mujje Kyambogo era mbadde njogera wano mu Luzungu ne ngamba bw'oba ozze kukola ku bintu bya passport n'ojja ku internal affairs headquarters waliwo abantu abaali beemulugunya nti basanga office zaffe nzigale.